All right, so let me close the object pool. And so here in this composite demo, I need to add new Java. First of all, let me start with an interface, right? New Java interface. I'm just going to say interface. I'm going to say iAccount because I need that iAccount, and the interface will populate the interface with a set of constants and a set of methods as we need, right? So this is my interface. So we're going to add, I guess, if I move it to a side like that, I should be able to say. So obviously inside the interface everything is public, so therefore inside this interface maybe I can use integer get privileges, right? And so this will return the privileges, and I can also have a void method that says set privileges and takes an integer that basically combines the privileges like that. And also I would like to use this method get account. Okay, so basically get account iAccount is returned from get account, and again I will say take the integer ID of some sort to locate the account if this is inside a composite. Okay, so so this is fine. This is something I can think about with respect to my account. In addition, this design over here says that we can have add, remove, and get child. So these are more specific. Right now, we're just these are more not specific, more generic methods that could be available. But we most certainly do need for the idea of a composite to say void add account, and that will take an iAccount iAccount parameter. So this will be populated by the composite, right? Populated inside the composite object if we have the user account group implementing this. So this set of methods that allow us to do some basic work. Essentially, we can retrieve the account, we can add the account based on this interface, we can get and set privileges, which is what we're trying to deal with over here. Right. So okay, so we have this interface. The next step is to go and say add an account class. Say new Java class, and we're going to add the account class to say that the account class actually implements the iAccount interface, right? And when something like this happens, of course, you can simply just basically copy and paste, right? Copy and paste set of these methods, because we need to implement them here. We can just basically copy and paste and then say that those are public, right? We need to add public because they're no longer public by default. So we're going to do that. And of course, we're going to replace the actual methods, add the methods bodies to every single method over here so that we're syntactically doing the right thing. Then For now, I'll just say in terms of the getting, setting, and so forth, I think I'll start with the count constructor, right? So I'm going to say in terms of the data attributes, I need then a maybe private integer account ID, as well as private integer privileges, combination of privileges. Oh, and by the way, we almost forgot that we wanted to say integer read in terms of the privileges, right? Read will initialize it with 0, as well as read, write, and execute over here. Execute. These are the types of privileges. Let's just say that write is 1 and execute is 2, right? And so we can combine these into a sort of like a bit pattern to use. Let me see. Get privileges simply says return privileges, right? So that will do. Set privileges will say this privileges equals the privileges that were passed on into this setter method right here, right? Get account. So inside the account, account cannot cannot create new account, but I may decide to do something like this. If this ID equals ID that you are giving me, then I can say return this object, right? Return this object. Otherwise, return null. So at this point, I'll just say return null. Add account. There could be choices here to implement this method, but right now this can be sort of like largely ignored because account is a leaf node. So most likely we would like to say to do over here, to do throw an exception, because we don't want to allow to use an account to add other accounts. You have to have a group to be able to do something like this. And so again, I said at the beginning that we need a constructor, right? So we're going to say public account, which is the constructor here, which will say that we can basically have a default constructor here, which will perhaps construct it by, or at least we need a unique identifier. So let's just say int ID. So int ID, and say this ID equals ID. So that's one constructor, and the second constructor that we're going to be using is the one that perhaps also takes the privileges. And over here, let's initialize the privileges, the default, right? The privileges can be, to be uniform, I'll just say this privileges equals I account default privilege, and the default privilege I will add over here, right? In default can equal read, something like that, right? Just restrict it to just to the reading, right? So we can have the default privilege as well, so that we are using it in this constructor. But if they did provide the actual integer privileges in the constructor, then we essentially we can remember what this was. This privileges equals privileges and we can just store that value, right? Okay, so we have data attributes, we have some constructors over here, and we have some operations to make it interesting, right? Actually, no, operations will list right down here. So we have operations. We also may be able to generate, I don't think an account really needs a change in the ID, but at least we should be able to say, you know, we can essentially, for lazing up, can say insert code and get the getter for the ID, and be able to, you know, to allow the user to extract ID out of this account. So these are the operations that we support: get ID, get privileges, set privileges, get account. This will be used only, this object will say, yes, it's me, only if it's get account, or return a null, or it can also throw an exception. But we'll just say, for now, returning a null can be okay, because internally get account may be a popular operation because of the reasons that we want to be able to navigate things through. All right, so something like this. And so the next thing that we need is account group. So account group will be an aggregate of accounts, as we said. So let's proceed to that.